Hi everyone, it is Akabulan, first of generations. I'm Denisha.
And I'm Anthony.
Thank you guys for your liking, your subscribing, and your sharing to our channel. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video as well.
That's right. And also hit the notification bell button. That way, whenever we upload any information, you will have it. You will know that we have uploaded something. Now, listen. We have been back and forth to Ghana, probably around about 5 times. I stopped counting, and each time we have learned something very valuable. So we want you to pay attention to what we are saying, because what we are seeing is it could definitely benefit you in your travels to Ghana and what you're trying to do while you're in Ghana. Some people that go to Ghana have never been out of the particular region that they've been in, and once they get there, start after they've been successful with YouTube, then they start traveling. Well, we've probably been to about 5, maybe 6 regions. We know Ghana may be having 10 to 12 regions, but we've been to a lot, riding through the countryside, riding in the visiting the villages. Um, Pretty much did a lot of it. So not that we've seen all of Ghana, but we've seen a great deal of Ghana, and we've experienced a lot of Ghana. So, with that being said, what is our topic today?
Our topic is why African Americans find it difficult to visit or settle in Ghana. Note this, there's more to Ghana than just Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast.
Absolutely. I think wherever we first land, I think that's where we feel most comfortable with. And of course, Accra being the capital city of Ghana, it will make you feel like you're in the U.S. because of the accessibility of things and some of the amenities that you may have while you're staying there. You can definitely get everything you have in the U.S. So just keep that in mind, that Ghana is bigger than just those three main cities. You know, Ghana has more than what meets the eyes. It's like the Transformers, more to meet the eyes. So, I think one of the difficult things to, and I'm going to be looking at my notes that I have in front of me, I'm sorry. But one of the most difficult things, I want to say us being black in the diaspora, is visiting or settling in Ghana, is not having the finances to resettle or to visit. Because truth be told, the tickets are kind of expensive. It's amazing that you can go to Europe cheaper than you can actually fly to Africa, any parts of Africa. So, I mean, some parts of Africa, maybe South Africa may be a little cheaper than West Africa, but for some reason, the powers that be don't want us to go to sub-Saharan Africa, if you know what I mean. So the ticket seems to be a little bit more expensive. Having the right finances is key. I think that if we plan right, if we plan and make sure that if we really want to visit Africa, we really want to resettle in Africa, you're going to really need to put your finances and save them some kind of way. You need to save your finances. You look to spend around anywhere from $950 to $1,500, maybe even $1,600 round trip to visit Ghana. Let's talk about Ghana. To visit Ghana, this would ensure your trip there and your return trip back. So, I think if you're going to stay a week, for your hotel and maybe for your hotel stay, depending on whether you want a 5 or 6 star, 4 star, 3 star, we advise you, if you're going to visit, probably start with like a 2 or 3. And the reason why I say that is because if you don't have to have 5-star amenities, then you have more money to either shop, more money to see more of Ghana and more peace,
Right.
that you have money to just have a good time, to relax. So if you're willing to go 2-3 star, I would say if you're gonna stay a week, that's 7 days. 600 US to 700 US for a 3 star, maybe three and a half star hotel. You know.
Now, we do know of a few places. One in particular, we did a video on a location that is located in Accra that is very inexpensive, but it is accommodating for African Americans that may need hot water, AC, Wi-Fi. It is accessible to Uber, Bolts, and you can find that on our YouTube channel as well. We did a tour of the location.
Right. So having said that, your US dollar, as long as it stays where it's at, the US dollar will go a long ways in Ghana.
Absolutely.
Food for a week, maybe for 2 people, food for a week, maybe $250, and you probably still have some money left if you just, eating. If you're eating at top of the line restaurants, you still $250 will still be okay. That's with 2 people, $250 US will be okay with your stay.
Now, one thing we like to do when we go to Ghana is we like to try the foods that, not only restaurant foods, but we like to try the foods that are what they would call street food.
We try some street food, some local foods, some of the vendors, just depending on the vibes that we may be getting,
Right.
How things taken care of, how it's prepared. The same way in the U.S. If you go into a restaurant and you go in there and things don't look clean, hey, you're not gonna eat it in the U.S. You're gonna walk right back out of the restaurant and say, forget it. I'll go try something different. And Ghana's no different than the U.S. We're talking about people. And I don't want to say that Ghana's a bad place or anything like that. If I had to say that, then I got to say the U.S. is even worse, right? Because a lot of serious and bad things happen in the U.S., more so than Ghana, right? So where are we?
You were going over the costs.
Okay. Yeah. So really, 2 tickets. You look to two return tickets and their tickets going there round trip. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Round trip tickets, 2 people, maybe $3,000, right? A little bit under $3,000, maybe just a little bit under $3,000 for 2 people. I said hotels around what?
Depending on how long you're gonna stay.
If it's 7 days, then just go ahead and lot out for your savings. Just say 100 US. But don't get me wrong, you can find $50, $60, $40, $35, $25 rooms. Now, the further you go down, the less accommodating the room's going to be, just like in the U.S., right? It all depends on what you want out of your visit.
Yes.
When we first went, we stayed in maybe a 2-star, 2.5 star, maybe 3-star, right? And it was okay for us because most of the time, when your first visit, you're not going to stay in the hotel room anyway. You're just going to be sleeping there. So if you get a place that's accommodating for your sleep, you're going to be okay. So if that room is $50 a night, you do the math times 7 days. Same thing with your food for 2 people. Like I said, $250, $300 US, you'll be okay. For spending, you don't have to take no more than $500-$600 US, because unless you're gonna buy extra luggages to carry your product back, whatever you're doing like that, then you have to do the math on how much shopping you want to do when you're there. Now, the video is about resettling it as well.
Yeah.
What do you think about resettling? If you had to just maybe one or two people they got tired of the U.S. and they like want to go cold turkey. Would you advise anyone to never visit?
No,
Why is that?
never visit Ghana.
Yeah, just cold turkey. Just go. Just say you got $10,000 and you just I'm gone. I'm tired of everything that we're going through.
I would actually advise to visit first, because so many things are different. Yes, you're going to have a culture shock when you first get there, because if you're not used to being around, which I don't know, not one country or continent that's like Africa that has a lot of African Americans. Like, I mean, my thing is, when we first got there, we were like, whoa, it was something new for us because we had never been around as many Africans or black people in our lives. So
Never.
it was it was new for us, but I definitely would not advise to go to Ghana to live without first visiting.
Yeah, and I would even say make your visit make sure you're visiting at least a couple times before you move.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
And when you visit beyond the major places that you've heard of, as I mentioned before, Accra, Kumasi, Cape Coast. Try to go through some villages. Try to interact hands-on with the people. Because a lot of times we can be a bit timid because we are considered foreigners, and we don't really know what to expect, as well as I would think they don't know what to expect when they first meet us either. But I mean, you definitely have to visit to make sure it is a move you want to make, not just going off of a whole bunch of YouTubers or someone that that may have visited. You need to go and experience the experience for yourself.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with everything that she's saying. You got to see it for yourself, and also place in your mind, can I do this? Can I live and resettle in Ghana? Can I live as the villagers? Can I live amongst the village people? When I say village people, I'm not talking about any type of craziness, but I'm talking about, can I live the old natural way? You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about giving up some of your amenities that you have in the U.S. But we like the village life.
Right.
We like living out. We when we saw Accra, we don't get us wrong. We love Accra, but Accra just was not for us. So if you've lived around any major city and you've done that 95% of your life, however, you don't want that. So people that are reselling, a lot of times you'll see people moving on the outskirts, even with the Asebu land. It's 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, give and take, outside of Cape Coast. So people are not really want to live in the heart of the metropolis. And Cape Coast is really not a metropolis, but you understand what I'm saying, for Kumasi, in the inner city of Kumasi, inner city of Accra. So we kind of like being off the beaten path.
Now, I will say this: when we first visited, he was sold. I won't say I was not sold because of what I experienced, because I love everything about Ghana, but it was getting my mind conditioned from U.S. to Ghana. That's a major conditioning. It's so many levels to that you have to get your mind right for. It's just not something that's just, okay, I'm gone and that's it. So
Yeah, I think when you're tired, and I think the people in the diaspora all over the world, if you are what we consider or what they consider as a black person, when you're tired, you're tired.
Absolutely.
And you just want to do something different. You just want to reconstruct your life, restart again. And I think I was already there before my first visit. And I had to kind of wait till my wife catch up and say, hey, what do you think about this? And she was like, I don't know, you know. And I think when we came back and then we went again, she was actually wanting to go again. And then after the second time we went, she was like, please, let's do something to ensure that we can do this. So yeah, I think that on a financial level, a lot of diasporans say that they can't do it. But look at the money you spend on Christmas. Look at the money you spend on Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays.
Even income tax.
Income tax, stimulus, PPPs.
Those are gone.
But they were here though.
Right.
And people just went and did some crazy things with that type of money when you could have resettled yourself. And we're not telling you to misappropriate funds, but we are telling you to be wise with what the Most High give you.
Absolutely.
And you can relocate one day. I mean, that's one of our wishes one day, that we can relocate. But we're just giving you some pointers to try to help you. You have anything else in that area?
No.
I think your first visit, she was talking about the culture shock. Well, you're going to have a food shock as well. And when I say a food shock, I'm talking about the rawness and the realness and the naturalness, the natural part of the food. Some of our, and the authentic that comes straight from the ground. Look, y'all, here in the U.S., we don't know anything about that. I don't care if they're talking about organic. You don't even know if it's organic.
Right.
But there's just a taste of tomato. Oh, God. It's different. Just a taste of cucumber. It's different.
Pineapple.
A pineapple. Oh, my God, the pineapple is night and day. The pineapple here.
It's very acidic.
Listen, it's very acidic. You can't eat so much, it'll take the taste off your tongue. Look, when I'm in Ghana, I can eat pineapple after pineapple after pineapple after pineapple. and when I go to sleep, I'm thinking about pineapples. I'm thinking about the mangoes. Oh my God. Don't let anybody fool you. Don't think that we're trying to sell you on something. Go check it out for yourself.
Absolutely.
Because when I first tasted it, I was like, I can't believe this. The pineapple's not as big as the pineapple we get in the U.S. And I think I heard it maybe 6 months ago that Ghana just struck a deal with the U.S. for pineapples. Now I'm wondering where the U.S. is going to take those pineapples at, but I guarantee you, we won't eat the pineapple in the grocery stores here in America. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if the rich people going to have them.
Right.
But the pineapples just, in Africa, the vegetables, the fruit.
Everything is so
It's top of the line. Talk about the food culture shock. When me and my buddy Amiel, we went to the market in Cape Coast, and we was going to get goat meat, right? Well, when I look inside of the little shop that the guy had, he had a half of a quarter hind part of a goat, and he asked us how many pounds do you want? And this goat, we asked them, this goat was killed fresh that morning. Now, when you go in our grocery stores and you pick up your food, you don't know when, because you go get packaged meat like the rest of us. You don't know when, you don't know how long that meat has been frozen, rethawed before you get it and cook it. You don't know what kind of chemical. What kind of antibiotics, what kind of steroids, what kind of this, what kind of that, hormones, all this stuff that, oh God, they don't do that. They don't have time, they don't have money to be able to inject those animals like that. So the animals are eating grass, they're eating what they eat in the natural and the food. And when I say culture shock, your tongue will try to reject some of it because you never taste natural foods like that. And this is not for the country folk in the U.S. and in the diaspora, because we know country people go hunting and country people get that natural food as well. Yeah. But we're talking about city slickers, right? People that mainly go to grocery stores, yeah, like Walmart's and Kroger's and Publix and Winn-Dixie's and all of the rest of the stores. We're talking about you. So that's going to be one of the shocks too. That you're going to taste foods that you never taste. You're going to understand that we didn't invent jambalaya, right? We didn't invent anything with all the meats cooked together. African people did, because they have acquired taste buds that your tongue cannot even keep up with it. They'll have a pot with. I'm sorry about it. Our battery died, so you're gonna probably see the little cut in it a little bit. The battery died. We had a full battery. We don't know what happened with it, but anyway, who are we talking about?
You were saying about the meats in the pot.
Yes, they can cook 4-5 different kinds of meat in the pot. So for the adventurous people, you can try that, but kind of keep it safe. When I say safe, one meat in the pot, one meat in the dish, until your taste buds arrive and until they mature.
Your insides.
Until your taste buds mature, because it's gonna shock your taste buds. But once you get used to the Ghanaian food, you're gonna understand that it's a lot more. It's 10 times as healthy than the U.S. food, and everything is au naturel, and that's what I like about it. Not that you can't get processed food, that was very little. You got to go looking for it to get it, or you got to go in some of the Malcolms or the shop rice or whatever. You can find packaged food, but I want to say most of that is more healthy than the U.S. food. So anyway, let's move along. Is this my paper? My wife stole my paper.
I did not. You laid it down.
I got a different. My notes are different. I'm looking at it. What is going on? Also, I think it's difficult for diasporans to resettle or visit, is because they don't really do a lot of research. Research. On YouTube, there's a lot of content creators out there, and just listen. Try to find those that are not so large. So those big YouTubers they're gonna show you the glamour, the glitz and the glamour. And don't get me wrong, we need that as well. But try to find those ones that are in the villages. That way you're gonna get an idea on. Let me turn the camera a little bit. Sorry. You're gonna get an idea on what you're up against if you decide to live in the village, or find those ones that are in the inner cities. Because some people are like, well, look, I want all of the comforts, and if you're building a house, you can have all the comforts in your own house. I mean, just depending on how you want to do that. So most people don't know what type of business to start, how to buy land. Finding honest people. A lot of times you don't have boots on the ground. It's not as easy to trust everybody, and we get that. If you guys would like to drop us an email, we have boots on the ground. We have some very honest people. Listen, anything you're trying to do, if you're trying to visit, you need someone to travel with you in the different regions. We have people on the ground that we travel with every single time we go to Ghana. So if you guys are looking for people that are trustworthy, these guys, we've met their family. We've went inside of their house, their homes, ate the traditional food with them, sit around, and just we really had a good time with their family. So we know some very trustworthy people that can accommodate you. But you can leave us an email request, right?
Yeah. Or if you would like to tour with us, we'll be touring November 2023. I wanted to say something about the business in Ghana. You definitely want to do a research on starting business, because you don't want to go to Ghana and try to find a job unless you have a job that is international, that's willing to relocate you to the continent.
Right.
I would not advise going to try to find a job in Ghana.
And the reason why she's saying, because Ghana, their jobs are really going to be for the Ghanaians, the Ghanaian people, and they need it. They need jobs. And then not only that, can you work for what they work for, and still be comfortable within yourself that you've made this and that amount. So we're telling you to go with your entrepreneurial mindset put together and have a plan. That's why you have to visit first, and then when you go to certain regions, you could kind of imagine what will work. What will work, and just the more you visit, the more you're gonna see, and go from there.
And our goals as diasporans should be going to add, to the continent, not to per se take away, but to establish something for the people,
and for yourself,
right? To give more jobs, and
we see that more mature people resettle in Ghana than young people. However, there are some young people that are getting wise, and they're like, look, we're getting out of here. Things are getting bad in the U.S. and we want out. So young people are getting their strategy together, getting their plan together, and they're leaving too as well. But we see a lot of retirees when we go there, people that are 50 years and upward. They're leaving the U.S. And they're leaving, and a lot of them are leaving for Ghana, Rwanda, Tanzania, all these different places, even Kenya, South Africa. People are leaving, and of course, they're not leaving in great numbers, right? But they are leaving. And so this should be something on your mind, too, to think that can we live somewhere else outside the U.S.? And a lot of people, they don't believe that. That's why we don't want to visit Africa. You tell people you go to Africa, they're like, whoa, were they in the trees? Did you guys see the lions?
Or
they start saying some language that you do, ooga booga and all that. Don't nobody talk like that.
No.
Where did they get that from? That people in the diasporans are in the dark ages when it comes to Africa. I mean,
actually, they are very intelligent people because a secondary language is English, right? And they have to learn it while they are in school, elementary.
Yeah, I'm sure that the average 10-year-old Ghanaian knows 3 or 4 languages.
Yes.
The average.
And African Americans, the average.
You got one. That's English. You got one. You only have one, and then we got a nerve to kind of put our feet on other people's necks.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
Cool.
But I want to say this. You had something to say?
No.
I want to say this before we conclude this, and we know that we was kind of rambling and we got off track a little ways in the video. The reason why a lot of diasporans, or I want to kind of target this to U.S., why they don't consider Africa as a continent or Africa as a country to resettle in, and it's because they don't believe that America conditions are gonna get any worse. They don't believe that racism is gonna get worse. Police brutality is gonna get worse. The mass shootings is gonna get worse. The redlining, the gentrification, no access to loans. Just they say America has its first sin, which is the slave trade, responsible for a lot of the slaves, a lot of the African American people in America. They are responsible for that, and America they haven't made that right yet. Do you think they're gonna make it right? Right. So the medical genocides, the food, being a sixth class citizen, loss of jobs to illegal immigrants and immigrants. We lose jobs to illegal immigrants, and we also lose jobs to legal immigrants. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you said it right.
And it's getting worse. Look at our borders. They are constantly coming in, and I have no problems with different races of people coming over here for a fresh start.
Right.
But what happens is when you get most of your immigrants that come in, they normally come closer to our neighborhoods or in our neighborhoods. And they normally get grants and they get loans from banks that you can't get. And they start buying our stores, buying our buildings that you can't get. you know. And listen, I'm done. I'm not trying to force you, but I am done, wifey. I'm done. I'm done. I'm tired of fighting. And I'm not saying I'm tired of fighting as it relates to trying to strive for perfection, strive for the betterment of our family, the betterment of our race. No. Look, we got to stop thinking that this is the only place we can live.
Absolutely.
We can live other places, and we were brought here by force, right? We didn't ask to come here. So don't be forced out to get out. Just leave. Just leave. They want you to leave, leave. And I'm not trying to sound racist or anything like that. I'm just trying to say, man, we can relocate. We can revisit. We can resettle in other places. And what better place to resettle, to relocate, and to visit than the African continent? It is a large continent with 54, 55, depending on how you want to word it, countries. And we just got to try it. Look, if anybody see this video, try to share it with somebody else. You can do it. You can do it. You can take your finances, sell everything you got, and you can go and resettle. But remember, we always say visit first. If you don't have boots on the ground, what's a website that we can give them, or email address we can give them that they can actually
you can email us at akabulantours@outlook.com.
akabulantours@outlook.com.
We'll put it in the description for you.
Okay. And our time is up.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when the next video comes out.
And we will be coming out with some other things as far as in land purchase and things like that. And I know you're waiting on that. It's coming.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.